Hi, myself Dr. N. Harivanan, working as an associate professor in Department of Civil Engineering. I am working in Mari Lakshman Reddy Institute of Technology and Management. It is an autonomous institution located at Dundukal, Hyderabad. I am handling the subject of surveying and geomatics for the second year civil engineering students. Today we are going to discuss about advantage and disadvantages of chain surveying. Let us go with advantage. Any work, it has some advantage and disadvantages. First we will discuss about advantage. Chain surveying is most suitable for small area, and that too the area should be leveled at most. Then it can have simple equipments like chain, tape, picks, arrows, ranging rod, offset rod, cross stuff, plumb up, like that. These accessories are very small and we can handle it easily. That's why the carrying of equipments are easier thing. That is one kind of advantage. Third advantage, if by using chain surveying, whatever the data we have collected, that we can make it easily in the form of map. Since the area whatever the we have worked, that that was smaller when compared with other type of surveying. That's why the preparation of map is easy when we are using chain surveying. Next we will go for disadvantage of chain surveying. We already said that if the ground is undulated, then the chain surveying is not suitable to do the work, since the carrying of chain and making of horizontal distance, that is getting the horizontal distance, is somehow tedious if the ground is undulated. That's why the chain surveying is not suitable for undulated ground. This is one disadvantage. And second one, it is not suitable for crowded city. Means the making of well conditioned triangle is the principle of chain surveying. That is the tedious task if we have lot of obstacles like building, like a congested building. Okay, now so it is not a easy process to make the well conditioned triangle in the crowded city. That's why this is the one type of advantage, sorry, disadvantage in the chain survey. Next, it is not suitable for route surveying. What is route surveying? The laying work or the laying or get the data of road, railway, water pipelines, then sewer pipelines, then canal laying lines, tunneling. Okay, now these works and all comes under route surveying. When comparing with the breadth, the length of the site is very high. Okay, now so that's why the process of doing the chain surveying is the difficult task in this process. So in the route surveying, that's why we are avoiding the chain surveying in the route surveying work. These are all the some disadvantages of chain surveying. And next we could go with tape correction. What is tape corrections? Okay, so whenever we are doing some work with the chain or tape, we can get the chance for error. That's why those error we should rectify when we are doing for a calculation purpose. Okay, now those things and all called as tape corrections or chain corrections. There are six type of corrections we should do in our measurements if we have. Okay, so first one is correction for absolute length, second one is correction for temperature, third one is correction for pull or tension, fourth one is correction for sag, fifth one is correction for slope or vertical alignment, sixth one is correction to mean sea level. So first one, correction for absolute length. In normal case, our designated or nominal length of the tape, okay, it may get contract or enlarged due to some factors. Okay, so that we have to rectify with respect to the corrections. Those length, width, their corrections is called absolute length. It may be either plus or minus based on its length. The correction has been given by the formula of Ca equal to L into C divided by small l, whereas Ca equal to correction for absolute length, capital L equal to total measured length of the line, small l equal to nominal length of the tape, either 20 meter or 30 meter, whatever they have given, we can take it. C equal to correction to a tape. Next one is correction to temperature. Our tape has been manufactured with respect to some standard temperature, okay, but in our actual field it may get high or it may get lower due to our weathering conditions, so that we need to apply some correction, since the tape may get either enlarged or get shrinked due to our weathering action, okay, because of our temperature. Okay, if it is high temperature, then automatically we may get a chance of expanding the length. Okay, if it is low temperature, then automatically it may get the chance of shrinkage, so the tape may get reduced length or higher length with respect to standard length, so that we have to calculate it with the help of the formula given as Ct equal to A or alpha we can denote, into Tm minus T naught into L. So here Ct equal to the correction for temperature in meter, then A or alpha equal to the coefficient of thermal expansion. Okay, this is depend upon the material used for tape. Then Tm equal to mean temperature during the measurement, and T naught equal to the standard temperature of tape. Okay, now during the manufacturing they have given this as input, and L equal to the total measured length in meter. Here it may be plus or minus, the correction may be plus or minus based on the mean temperature. Okay, if the Tm is more than our T naught standard temperature, then automatically the correction will get positive. If it is the mean temperature is lesser than our standard temperature, then automatically the correction get negative. And the coefficient of thermal expansion for material, okay, if it is steel, then we can take it as 11.4 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade, and if it is invar tape, it can be taken as 6.3 into 10 to the power minus 7 per degree centigrade. Then next one, correction for pull or tension. The tape has to be manufactured to withstand some amount of applied force. Okay, so in the field, if it is beyond that, then automatically we can get some expansion in the tape. Okay, that we are going to reduce it. Okay, this type of correction is called correction for pull or tension, and the formula used to get this correction is Cp equal to P minus P naught into L by AE, where Cp equal to correction for pull in meters, then P equal to the pull applied during the field measurements, which is in Newton. P naught equal to the standard pull during the manufacturing, whatever the pull they have given as a input, that is in Newton. Then L equal to the total measured length in meter. A equal to cross sectional area of the tape in square centimeter, and E equal to Young's modulus of the material used for tape. The value of E, that is Young's modulus, which can be taken for the tape material. If it is steel, we can take it as 19.3 to 20.7. into 10 to the power 10 Newton per meter square. And if it is an inward tape, we can take it as a 13.8 to 15.5 into 10 to the power 10 Newton per meter square we can take. And this correction is also either positive or negative. It is based on our applied pull during the measurements. Okay, so if it is more than our standard pull, then the correction will becomes positive. If it is lesser than the applied standard pull, then the correction becomes negative. Next one, correction for sag. So when we can get these corrections? Okay, if we are going to stretch out the tape, okay, we are not stretched out properly, then we can get the some catenary of profile in the tape. Okay, now it may not stretched properly. Due to that, we can get this sag correction. In the figure you can take, this is point A and B. In between that we are going to take the measurement. Okay, one person is standing at A, another person is standing at B. If they are not stretched the tape properly, then automatically we can get this catenary profile. We can take this profile as a parabola. So this correction is called sag correction. Okay, this is the sag height. So this one we have to rectify with the help of some formula, and this correction is always negative. The correction for sag, we can use this formula: cs equal to L1 into mg the whole square divided by 24p square. Here p is nothing but the applied pull in Newton, whereas m equal to the total mass of tape in kilograms, and L1 equal to the distance between the supports in meters. If the distance between the points is not in uniform, which means like L1, L2, like that, if we are having, we have to increase the formula as L1 plus mg the whole square divided by 24p square plus L2 into m square divided by 24p square. Likewise, we have to segregate. And if we are having uniform length, then the formula has been changed into L into mgl the whole square divided by 24 n squared and p squared. Next, correction for slope or vertical alignment. I already said always we are in need of horizontal distance, not the sloping distance. So if we are not handling it properly, okay, now that time we could go with these corrections. Okay, now here we can have the point A and B. Instead of getting the horizontal distance, we have done by a sloping distance. So the distance, the height difference, we can take it as h. Now the formula for getting the correction for slope is sum of h squared divided by 2l, whereas l equal to the length of any slope and h is equal to the difference in height between the ends of the slope. And instead of giving the h value, the difference in height, if they have given theta, that is sloping angle, how the way we have to calculate, that is here we can take this one as adjacent side, this one as opposite side, and this one as hypotenuse, so that d equal to cos theta equal to adjacent by hypotenuse, correct? So whereas adjacent is nothing but our d, okay, now our hypotenuse is nothing but l. So this is our cos theta. So we need only d, so d equal to l into cos theta. Now in this figure, when comparing with the D, L is high. So that how we can give it means, so how the correction means CS equal to, when comparing with the D, L is high. So correction L minus D is the correction. So we have our L minus, instead of D we can give L minus cos theta. L minus L cos theta. So that we can take that L is common. So the formula becomes L into 1 minus cos theta. If they have given in terms of angle, we can get the correction for slope formula like this. Next one is correction to mean sea level. The thing is, if you are going for geodetic surveying, that is the entire area, if it is more than 250 kilometers, definitely we should do these corrections. Okay, now since our earth profile is spherical in shape, okay, now that correction we should consider. Uh, the formula for this, that is, this is the measured length whatever we have in our earth profile. Okay, now this is our earth center point, okay, core point. From that, the radius of our earth is 6370 kilometers. Okay, now over that we are taking the reading, so this is called H. So the correction to mean sea level formula becomes CH equal to L into H divided by H plus R. When comparing with our R, the H value is very small, since our radius of Earth is 6370 kilometer. But whatever the measurements we had taken over the surface of Earth, it may be in meters. Okay, now that's why it is very less, so that we can neglect that H wherever it is here. Okay, now so that our formula becomes L into H divided by R. So this is the formula we have used for mean sea level, and this correction is always, sorry, this correction is negative if the measured distance is above mean sea level. Okay, now, and the correction is positive if the measured distance is below the mean sea level. So this is our mean sea level strata. Thank you.